When we think of weapons of mass destruction, we often picture modern-day nuclear fire. But the true toll of human life is far older, far simpler, and far more insidious. History isn't just written in ink, it's etched in stone and forged in steel. Today, we rank the 5 weapons that have killed the most people. This is the countdown to death. Number 5. Artillery. Known by generals as the Queen of Battle, this mechanical monster shifted warfare from individual combat to industrial-scale slaughter. These iron beasts have roared across the battlefields of Europe and Asia for centuries, rewriting the maps of empires with fire and steel. First World War alone, artillery was responsible for over 70% of all combat deaths. Soldiers didn't die in heroic duels. They evaporated under a rain of high-explosive shells weighing hundreds of pounds, falling from a sky they couldn't even see. Its lethality wasn't just physical, it destroyed the human mind. The term shell shock was born in the mud of the trenches, where the relentless, days-long pounding of heavy guns turned the earth into a literal hell, leaving survivors as hollow shells of their former selves. From Napoleon's grand batteries to modern precision howitzers, artillery remains the primary tool for empires to project their will. It is the weapon that taught humanity that death can come from behind the horizon, cold, calculated, and absolute. Number 4. The AK-47. Designed by Mikhail Kalashnikov to protect his motherland, it became the most prolific killing machine in modern history. Its terrifying beauty lies in its simplicity. It does not jam, it does not rust, and it requires no expert to end a life. There are over 100 million AK-47s on the planet today. This single rifle has claimed more than 10 million lives since 1947, a body count that dwarfs the victims of nuclear weapons thousands of times over, making it the true weapon of mass destruction of our time. From the jungles of Vietnam to the streets of the Middle East, the Kalashnikov has been the backbone of every revolution, civil war, and insurgency. It is the weapon that democratized death, putting the power of an army into the hands of anyone willing to pull the trigger. Even in an era of high-tech drones and lasers, this steel and wood frame remains the world's favorite way to kill. It isn't just a rifle, it's a global symbol of endless conflict, where its bullets continue to claim lives at this very moment. Number 3. The bow and arrow. For over 10,000 years, this was the ultimate long-range weapon. Long before the invention of gunpowder, the bow allowed man to strike his brother from a safe distance, changing the nature of survival forever. The greatest empires of conquest, like the Mongol horde under Genghis Khan, were built on the backs of horse archers. Their arrows depopulated entire cities and claimed the lives of nearly 40 million people, turning thriving civilizations into silent ruins. The composite bow was the super weapon of its age, capable of piercing iron armor from hundreds of yards away. When thousands of arrows were launched at once, they literally blotted out the sun, creating a sound that made the bravest knights tremble in their plains of the Americas to the Crusades of the East. The bow remained the primary tool for redrawing continental demographics. It was the weapon that taught humanity that distance is no protection against the reach of. Number 2. The sword. The ultimate symbol of status and slaughter in the ancient and medieval worlds. For millennia, the sword made death an intimate encounter, eye to eye, blade to blade, where borders were drawn in the blood of millions. Personal combat was personal, eye to eye, blade to blade. A visceral, desperate struggle where borders were drawn in blood. Swords claimed hundreds of millions of lives, especially in brutal, close-quarter massacres, such as the Taiping Rebellion in China, which depopulated entire regions through systematic erasure. Mastering the blade required more than strength. It required a cold, unyielding will. Swords have claimed hundreds of millions of lives across history. In China alone, internal conflicts like the Taiping Rebellion saw tens of millions slaughtered, where the blade was the primary tool for the systematic erasure of entire villages. While modern warfare is fought with buttons and screens, the sword remains etched in our DNA as the most brutal weapon because it required the killer to feel the resistance of the body and see the light fade from their victim's eyes. Number 1. The spear. It may seem humble, but it is the greatest harvester of human life in history. The spear has killed more people than every bullet, bomb, or sword ever forged, and the reason is its terrifying, timeless simplicity. The spear gave the common man the advantage of reach. From the Greek phalanx to the Macedonian sarissa, it created impenetrable forests of iron tips that mowed down everything in their path like a giant, unfeeling reaping machine. Because it was cheap and easy to mass produce, every army in history, from the pharaohs to the medieval peasant levies, was armed with the spear. It allowed kings to mobilize hundreds of thousands of men, providing them with a low-cost, high-efficiency way to kill. Having served for over 40,000 years, from the Stone Age to the dawn of gunpowder, the spear stands alone at the summit of death. It is the weapon that started as a sharpened stick to hunt animals and ended as the instrument that decimated humanity. The spear is the true king of death. We began our journey with the spear 40,000 years ago, and today we wield the invisible power of drones. We have spent millennia perfecting the art of taking lives, transitioning from the violent grip of the sword to the cold, distant screen. But as we look at this man, standing between the dawn of war and its digital future, we must ask ourselves, have we truly progressed, or have we simply found more efficient ways to repeat our worst mistakes? The weapons have changed, but the hand that wields them remains human. And ultimately, this is the most dangerous invention of all. Thank you for watching. Please support the video by liking and subscribing to our channel.